Hello, everybody. Travis the Brilliant here. That's my current title for the achievements. It must be true, it's in writing. Welcome to Tpull's Corner. I'm on a kick of becoming slightly less evil as we go along. And I did a poll on the YouTube page. It's not closed, so it's still open, so you can still vote some more. But somebody had mentioned doing a prison deck, so I had something handy already, so great minds think alike. I've got a couple of stone brains in here. But what we did was, if you're new, let me explain. I started at the bottom of the barrel this year with an offspring sacrifice deck. We were killing small little woodland animals, and then I decided I should be slightly less evil, so I made a poison deck. And then I made a mill deck that exiled all but the last 6 cards of the opponent's library, and I thought that was, slightly less evil than the poison deck. So it's based on this Japanese concept. I looked it up. It's called Kaizen. It's the idea that you go to work and you're 1% better. You improve yourself by 1% each day. And now, granted, they probably assume that you're at least 50% good when they hire you, and maybe they can train you up faster in the months or whatever. But, as far as being evil, I was pretty close to 100% evil, I think, with the Offspring Sacrifice deck. So we're working our way up from the bottom rungs. That's just all there is to it. What do we have here? In the Presence of Ages, that doesn't tell me enough about what the deck is about. They might have something to get rid of this, so that's a little bit of a risk, but we're gonna take it. We do get to see... So, dinosaur deck, maybe? I'm not sure I have the dinosaur names memorized enough to help me with that. So we're just going to kidnap this. We're not giving them a card, so we're going to have 3 stun counters placed on the dinosaur. That's not a problem. They may just kill it, but I have Render Inert to take off all these stun counters. It won't let it attack the next turn, but it will let it untap. Plus, it draws a card, so it just replaces itself. Okay. Which is at 5. Gross. Okay, we'll get rid of the stun counters. Let's draw another card. That's what I need. Okay. How many of these do they have? I'm just no good at remembering. The problem is, if I remember during their turn, that's no good. This activates only as a sorcery. But this needs to come on my side anyway. I do know that card. I could name that card if they don't bring it down. Oh, that's better. Thank you. Which one are they going to take? I don't think you can bring these back from the graveyard. This deck does not normally resurrect anything. So they get rid of the big stuff. Could just bring this down this turn. No, they bring down the cavalry instead. Alright. What do we want to do here? Let's just use this before I forget. They've got Idskent. I know they have more than 1 copy. They'll get to draw a card from me exiling this one. But I don't need that there, so... We'll get rid of that one. We'll look at their deck. That's what I was looking for. Galta Stampede Tyrant. There's different types of Galtas, so the specific name is important. I do have a second Stone Brain, so that's what I'm aiming for to get rid of if I have the chance. In the meantime, I can still do this and get rid of Burning Sun Cavalry. Oh, never mind. They've got Leaping Ambush. That's an instant. They could save it now. I'm all tapped out. Oh, they don't save it. Interesting. Okay, I'm just going to attack because I can't block the Ceratops no matter what. Now they... Okay, so they get rid of... Oh, they couldn't... Were they going to try and block my creature with Menace? It's their creature. They should know it has Menace. They could just get rid of it if they're willing to use Rumbling Rockside. Which I don't mind. I don't mind them using their spells to take out their creatures. It's really kind of ideal. Ah, nice. Okay. I think we take this one away. We're getting kind of low on the health points. Okay, now they're willing to do that. And I have not been getting the land that I need to take this over. I am now. Would have been more ideal if I'd had 5, then I could have created a copy of it as well. And they're just going to be able to full cast their Galta with their land all they're getting. They throw away the 2/2. They decide it's not enough. Oh, we could exchange. I think we just go ahead and take that one too. And now I have some mana, so if they have the 1-drops anymore, I can actually counter those. That should be enough. Aha! Let's go get the big one out of the way. Where's, Galta? Stampede Tyrant, please. We'll get rid of both of those. And then what do we have to worry about still? We got, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We only have like a dozen more creatures to worry about. Piece of cake. That's all we're gonna do there. Nice little card draw for them. Yeah, I'm willing to make that trade. And so are they. Alright, that is not the greatest thing in the world. Let's throw you away. Pass the turn. If they pay for 6... Okay, we can work Confounding Riddle. It works. They don't have enough land to cast that expensive spell and get away with it. They just don't know it yet. Even if this was another land. And Arena knows they only have 2 lands, so they couldn't pay the extra 4 that were suddenly needed. Okay, I think we pass. Land is fine. I have a Restless Reef that's ready to be powered up. The question is, do they know it? Were they paying attention? Or are they going to run right into it? It looks like they're just going to run right into it. And we got rid of the Itzaquicks, right? So there's no worry about haste creatures. And we got rid of their two next biggest creatures. And now we just rinse and repeat. And that was a good mill hit. We got them down to 20 cards. It's not that I'm trying to mill them out, but I'm still pretty evil. So there's a mill component that's present still. Alright, let's go ahead and do the full breakdown for you. This deck is called Critter Control, because we're still dealing with mostly creatures. And I decided, you know what, the enemy always seems to have more creatures than me and bigger creatures than me, and why don't I just take their stuff and use it against them? So here's what we've got. We've got 3 copies of Minor Misstep to counter target spell with mana value 1 or less. So if they're bringing down a 1-drop and I've got 1 open blue mana, I can stop them. It's also good for putting a sudden halt to any unexpected combat tricks. 1 Negate to counter target non-creature spell, along the same ideas. I've got a Shifting Grift. It's a spree card, so I've got to have 2 blue just to pay for the base cost. Then if I want to actually accomplish anything, I've got to have more mana. I'll need to have my own creature, artifact, or enchantment on the battlefield that I'm willing to trade. A lot of my enchantments actually tap them down, so I'm willing to give them control of enchantments if they get a pretty enchantment that I want. But I'm usually trying to get like 1 dinky little creature, and then I'll trade them for something bigger. I like to trade on up. 1 copy of Nowhere to Run, flash that gives a target creature -3/-3. Also gets rid of any problems with hexproof and ward. That if I have this out on the field and there's a lot of big creatures that have ward and hexproof, despite Magic saying that they were going to cut back on the ward, and ward was supposed to be replacing hexproof. So I like the fact that this is around just because Magic appears to have either they lied or were not quite to the point where they said they were going to pull back, because Valgavoth is a disgustingly warded creature. 2 copies of Cruel Claw's Heist. I only have 2 copies. I'm considering burning wild cards to get the full 4 of these, but you get to have the target opponent reveal their hand. This is good to work with the next card, Stonebrain, to give you information on your target's deck. You get to exile the card, and then it becomes basically yours. As long as it's exiled, you don't need to worry about having the right color mana to cast the spell itself. This is the best gift-a-card mechanic in the entire Bloomburrow expansion. There is almost no reason why I would not let my opponent draw a card, because you let them draw the card, and if it's the best card, then you take it. If it beats everything else that was already in their hand. If it's not, you take the good stuff and say that you let them draw a land. Who cares? That kind of thing. In the meantime, if we do get this ahead of time, then we can actually take a look and get an idea for what's in their deck. It requires a little bit of knowledge of specific card names, so I'm probably not going to do it this time because it would slow me down too much. But a lot of times when I play decks with Stonebrain in them, I'll have a text file open and I'll jot down some notes, I'll type some stuff down, or I'll even have a browser open on a place like scryfall.com, and I'll start looking up things if I don't know the specific name, but I'm pretty sure I know how to track it down. We're going to exile that stuff. Blue Sun's Twilight takes control of their creature entirely as long as we can pay the summoning value, mana value X or less. If we pay 5 or more, then we get that creature plus a token of that creature. The only thing you want to watch out for is if you copy a legendary creature, it'll automatically prompt you to choose one to keep. 4 Confounding Riddles. I'm mostly keeping them as target spells, counter-target spells rather. But if they get too much mana out and I can't use them that way, there's flexibility with this card, so I can just dig for something else that will help me instead. You saw the Kidnaps, that we often don't give them a card, right? We control the enchanted creature. We can just play Render Inert and get rid of all the stun counters on our creatures and just draw a different card anyway. This is also good for removing certain other things the enemy might have. 1 Malicious Eclipse to go get rid of all the small pesky -1/1s and 2/2s that the enemy's throwing at us these days. And 4 stop cold. So on flash enchantment, you can enchant either an artifact or a creature, tap them, make sure they lose all the abilities, and doesn't untap. 1 board wipe with Deadly Cover-Up. It's similar to Stonebrain in that we can collect evidence 6, so we exile 6 mana value worth of value from our graveyard, and then we can also name a card, and we go through their graveyard, their hand, and their library. If they have 4 copies, they're going to lose all 4 copies to exile, just like Stonebrain. Also, like Stonebrain, if they have a copy up in their hand when this happens, of the card we named, they will get to draw a card to replace it. There's one other Magic card that we used to play with not too long ago that didn't do that, but most of them are geared that way. 4 copies of Course to Kill, fitting in with the theme of Blue Sun's Twilight, taking their creatures away. We get their creature again. It turns into Base Power and Toughness 1/1. They give it Death Touch, and it's Assassin. Normally, this is like a build-around card. You would kind of put in other Assassins. You would do a different kind of deck construction to really take advantage of everything that's in the text of the instructions for this card. But for my purposes, all I need is to take their creatures away from them. We also do that with Duskmourn's Domination. You control an enchanted creature. It does lose 3 power and lose all abilities. So, maybe we just turn it into a nice little chump blocker. Or, maybe we use Shifting Grift to trade that sucker if it's too worthless after we do that to it. We have 1 room, Bottomless Pool, to... we're looking mostly to target tokens when we play the Bottomless Pool part, just to return a target creature to its owner's hand. If it stays out, we pay 5 for the Locker Room. Whenever 1 or more creatures we control deals combat damage to a player, we get to draw a card. This is our card draw mechanic for the entire deck, not counting the draws that we get from Render and Urts. And we have Pull. We're usually using Push to destroy target tapped creature, but if we get some creatures in their graveyard and they're big enough, we could save it for the pull and then use it unexpectedly, get a couple of big creatures out, give them haste, maybe put the finishing touches on our opponent. We do have some other card draw in here through the lands, right? We've got Hidden Cataract, so we can discover 4. We've got Hidden Necropolis as well to do that for black. 1 Surgical Bay for card draw, and 1 Draw Spits to draw cards as well. And I've got 3 Restless Reefs, 4/4 Black Shark creature with Death Touch. When you attack them, target player mills 4 cards. And 1 Demolition Field to get rid of a special land they might have that I don't like. But I think this is less evil than the last deck I did. I'm not sure if I should give this series like a playlist, call it like the Evil series or the Kaizen Evil series, the idea of becoming slightly less evil series. But compared to, milling, which a lot of people detest, and the demon card that I used to exile everything but the last 6 cards, I think that just taking away their creatures is like 1% less evil than Exile Mill. And that's all I need to do to get better as a person, right? Just become 1% less evil. I can use the negate. It won't stop the prowess. They'll still pump up if they cast a non-creature spell, which they're not doing right now. But maybe it'll help me survive. I just need 1 more turn to cast the Deadly Cover-Up. There we go. So I'll counter that. This way they don't get to draw a card. They still get to draw a card. Because they use Select Sequence. And that does damage. And I'm down to 3 points, so I'm probably dead anyway, but I don't have enough to collect evidence. We just settle for a board wipe. And hope they don't have haste. But a lot of their creatures do have haste, you notice. Let's just take that one, because that way we have Death Touch. If they have haste, they usually don't have Trample at the same time, so we could use that as a chump blocker. Or they could kill their own creature. I'm not expecting them to have counter spells, but they might. First lightning straight to my face, because why bother get rid of the creature? There we go. I don't know that there's any way for us to stop that. That was just as much a burn deck halfway through as anything else. And this is why prowess is kind of actually a problem, because I countered the spell, and they still got the benefit of prowess. What? We get to go first? So I can play all my tap lands. What is that? First strike, huh? I don't know all of the Aether Spark cards by heart, so this is normally when I'd open Scryfall. Never mind. It's kind of good. We still managed to get rid of a card. Let's see. If I don't want them to get to max speed right away, I can just kidnap this. Given that they are ready for dealing with artifacts, they might have something to destroy enchantments too. But they weren't prepared for this, so they really slowed down. Come on, you're the Vroom Vroom deck. You're the race car deck. Since that's tapped, we can't play Coerce to Kill yet. They gave us our most expensive card, so we'll just hold up the mana. And if they try and do a spell, unless they do a 1-drop spell, we should be good to stop anything they try this turn. But they will ping us again. Max speed. Blah, 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 blah. Double strike. Target creature. Or. No, we don't want them to have that. It's okay. No, no, we're up to 3. Let's just take it this way. They only have 4 mana, so if they put out something 3 or less, we can gain control of it with Blue Sun's Twilight too. Although it would be nice to draw another land at some point. If it's not their turn. Oh, I like that. I'm taking that too. Thank you. Yoink. Boom. We started our engines too. Who's going to get to 4 first? Do I get, let's see, exile a card from your graveyard to draw a card? Is my max speed there? And now if they cast a spell during my turn, it's 4 damage to them. They have haste. Nobody cares. Take that. And it's my turn. We will attack with Leonin Surveyor. A cat scout. They take it. They take the damage. I'm matched with them for our engine speed. And if they have haste, we have something we can flash in on their haste attack. It doesn't do much good without trample to go ahead and exhaust. They could spend all of their mana and exhaust and make this a 4/3. Doesn't matter to the Death Touchers, but if they want to hold it up as a blocker against the Surveyor, it still wouldn't work because I'm just going to take it regardless, but they don't know that. 6 damage? Wow. Wow. You just murdered your own cat scout. These people might be more evil than I am. Let's go ahead and attack with this puppy. I'm going to get the max speed. So cool. This is a good experience for me because I haven't really played that much with the Aether Spark cards. I haven't really gotten into them that well. I haven't even bothered opening most of my packs yet. I am familiar with Collision Course and Crash and Burn. The artwork on this has not been good. Not been good at all. 4, huh? We could take that. And gains trample. Okay. Just taking the trample away from them. Oh, I wonder if I could get rid of Collision Course with my Stone Brain just for the heck of it. They do it. Why did you do that? Okay. Oh, they should not have done that. I can take that anytime I want. Let's go get rid of all the Collision Courses just so they don't have that as a spell anymore. We get to information. They only had 1 Collision Course in the entire deck? Are you kidding me? That was the most worthless Stone Brain I have ever done. Okay, what do we got? Gallant Strike. Destroy target creature with toughness 4 or greater. We do not have that. Exile. Hello. What is this card? Exile to 1 target artifact or creature. 4 damage to each creature. At the end of the next step. Yeah. We'll take it. We don't have the red mana to exhaust it and pump it up. But, you know, 4 damage per turn is just fine. Because they can't use Gallant Strike on us. They should be cycling that by now. Thunderhead Gunner. 4/5 reach, Shark Pirate. Discard a card and draw a card, but only as a sorcery. Okay. Should we trade? I feel like we should trade. I like the new one you put out. He's mine now. Your card works now. And we attack. You're down to 11. Do you block? They shouldn't, right? Because they can exhaust this. They can hit me for much worse. And what does this do? 7/7? Oh, they got something else. It's just a 3/1. Let's see. This is a vehicle. They can crew it for just 3. Not cool. Okay, everybody's up to max speed now. They can draw a card off of that. We'll just tap that down. And we'll keep attacking them. Because they got less health than we do. Although my minor missteps aren't doing much yet. But that does have lifelink. So all they need is 1 more power. And they can do well. But they're tapped out. What do you get rid of? Yeah, they could have pumped that up and then used that to power, so they had a way to power that up as of the last turn. Nope, they got somebody. So now they can power that and create stuff, can't they? When this enters, sacrifice a creature. I don't have any artifacts. Wait, why did they do that? Why would you destroy your own flagship? Look at that. They just put down an entire army. Let's go ahead and draw a card. That's just a land. That is not helpful. Let's see. Oh, I killed them with my land. They only had 1 life yet. I forgot to look. Okay. Well, there wasn't much they could do about that. That was just a pain land. I do have those in the deck. And Arena's funny. I have been facing off against the Heir Apparent decks for weeks now. And there's a couple of 1-drops that deck has. As soon as I make a deck with Minor Misstep, suddenly I don't come across Heir Apparent anymore. As a matter of fact, I've only had 1 deck that's really had 1-drops in it, right? For the most part. So far out. Item Shop Hero is instantly afraid of my name and runs away screaming in terror. Probably because I got to them with a poison deck or an animal sacrifice deck a couple of days ago. Let me know if I should make a playlist out of this and make it an entire series. What should I call it? Should I call it the Slightly Less Evil series? The 1% series? The Kaizen? The I'll Do Better Honest series? Leave a comment if you got a better name suggestion for me for the name of this playlist. I would like to get a Cruel Claw or a Cruel Claw card before I get the Stone Brain on occasion. These decks do have 1 or 2 spells that get rid of artifacts. So if they have it early, they'll use it now. I'm assuming they have 3 more Bristly Bills, and we want to get rid of those. But we also just want to hold with Confounding Riddle for whatever they want to do next. If all they're going to do is play lands, we could just take their creature soon. They have blue? Helena and Elena? And no, you do not get that. Let's see what else we're getting. Another counterspell. Okay. Stop getting lands, please. Ah! I said no to Helena and Elena, thank you very much. What did you not hear about that the first time? Alright, they're tapped out. I think we just have to take this. Yoink. It's mine now. Yeah, my opponent does not miss a land drop at all. Let's go ahead and get rid of all other bristly bills. How can you only have one in the entire deck? Okay. Okay, fine. I guess I'm stuck using my negate. They don't have a desert out yet. They could just hardcast that though, can't they? Do have a desert. Couldn't they just flash that in last time? 1, 2, 3. The third confounding riddle, saving my butt. But they can still play this now. And they can get another desert card out. Notice that I'm not getting land. I finally have a landfall card. Hey! Thank you, Arena! So cool! Nine points. Don't mind if we do mill you a little bit. Sabstone and Luxa Embodied. Reach, Trample, and Indestructible. They're doing stuff, aren't they? Was not going to be enough. So the reason this deck is a little bit better than your average deck is I didn't pack it down with a ton of removal spells. I never do. I mean, that may change eventually. But I've done something slightly more insidious. All these spells that I have that take away their creature, it doesn't just remove their creature as a threat, but I add a threat of my own at the exact same time. Which means if they can handle it with an answer, it's an answer they were planning to spend somewhere else, and instead they need to spend it against their own creature. So in some ways you could say this is actually more effective than just packing a whole bunch of removal spells in your deck. Have a 1-drop? Have a 1-drop? One time? One time? Well, we didn't have anything that comes in untapped, so I can't hold up negate. I would like to make good on this a little bit better. It's one of those decks. So their whole goal is to be casting things on my turn for the most part. They just got their perfect opening draw, though. I do have 2 counter spells. If I get an untapped land, I'll have access to 3. Oh, they're taking a long... Well, they are blue. You got to give them extra time to figure out... They got rid of a stab. Okay. See if that bothers them for the future. Okay, there. Just negate that. Will they take longer since they have fewer cards from which to choose, or will they take less time to figure out what to discard? They discard a land. I think they spent less time doing that. They don't appear to need any of this stuff right now, so they shouldn't be feeling too bad. Dreadwing Scavenger. Let's stop that. And I missed a land drop. I mean, I guess I could take one of these. Yoink. Going up against blue, it's really tough when you can't match them land for land. Why would you have this in your deck? I don't get that. Okay, they're nearly at the threshold. They get rid of a second Gleaming Barrier. Ooh, I think we just take you. Oh, I don't have 5 still. Alright. I was supposed to hold on to that and wait and cast it on my opponent's turn so I could pump up the Cutthroat, but I kind of need to know ahead of time if they're going to have a counterspell ready. Because I need them to burn that counterspell now so I can trade these 2 creatures next turn. Just because I can't count on getting a land. Now if they get 7, they could get an instant or sorcery back. Which would be this or this. No, it wouldn't be. That's the one that's already in the graveyard, right? They could get a stab back and kill the Cutthroat. Oh, never mind. They'll just kill the Cutthroat now. That was 4 mana. 4 energy to get rid of a 2 energy creature. Okay, 1 untapped land, please. I kind of need that now. Ugh. Are you serious? That's an enchantment. I think I'm dead. And that's the one problem with this deck is that Arena will Mana Starve you. That's the only problem with this deck. If you can't draw, it does need 5 lands to make it work. But now she gets the 8/8 blue octopus each time. And all I can do is take away that ability. And I'm already dead. Because I got stuck. Only 3 land draws for the entire match. I'm not sure what they're waiting on, but we're not going to hang around for that. They're blue. It's tough to pretend there's any type of skill involved when you have, sometimes you have entire gaming sessions where the only time you lose is because Arena would not give you a land resource. It's part of why some other games have been eating their lunch. There's a lot of space in the trading card game, especially when people trying to do online trading card games. I think Hearthstone was a big wake-up call to them. But Marvel Snap is really beating them, I think, right now, too. And it wouldn't be quite so bad. I don't mind the land mechanic. I certainly didn't mind it when I was playing with the physical cardboard across the table from somebody. But the amount of starvation that you get on Arena is really deplorable. And it's really against all mathematical odds. It does not match the percentages they said that you should get it at. Let's see. Let's do 1 damage to them now. Bring down the pool to save us from 1 point of poison. Well, it's got double strike, so 2 poison. We'll do what we can. Figures. The one card I know they have, we might want to get rid of. They have the duplicate of it already. Only 2 lands for them. That means we might have a chance. What was that? Did they think that targeted enchantments? Its creatures are planeswalkers only for that. We're going to take this one too. That's enough poison counters. Thank you very much. They're the ones getting land starved now. I mean, technically they're ahead right now, right? Yeah, I do think you need at least 3 lands to beat me, though. If they have something that destroys enchantments, we just cast one again. Oh, they'll get rid of the Jawbone Duelist. Okay, you got rid of your own creature. Congratulations. We're just going to hold up Confounding Riddle. And power this up. If we ever get a creature, we'll be good to go. Let's do some card draw here. If nothing else, we'll at least replace our lands. Ooh. That's what I need to power up Stonebrain finally. What do we want to take? They have so many of these Patchwork Banners and Heraldic Banners. Celestial Armor. I feel like I want you. And then we want to get rid of all of the make your moves, because that gets rid of artifact, enchantments, or creatures. 3 of them, that's better. So they got another Olger, a couple of Elish Norns. They've got a lot of mythic rares in here. And the Roaming Thrones, Banishing Lights are going to be a problem. Okay. They get a 3rd land finally. Thank you. Let's get rid of these. We don't need to bring those back. And any annex sentries that you have are going away. 3 more creatures, never to return. Oh, thank you. I'll take that one, please. You belong to me now. Okay. It was fun while it lasted. We'll just pass. It's kind of a reactive deck. They had such a slow start on the lands. I need to use their creatures for ammunition to go hit them. We can get doing overs here. You know what? You can have that. That's fine. Nah, I don't want you to have one of those. We did the right thing in getting rid of the make your moves, because if they destroyed this, the land would go back to them. Banishing Light, they don't get it back. I think we get rid of Thousand Smithy, don't we? Or oh wait, 4. We have 5, don't we? 2 of those, please. Oh, look at how many we get thanks to Oger attack. Life is good. Card draw and everything. Yeah, instead of 1 token, we get 3 tokens. That was beautiful. Trying to use poison decks on me. They don't know who they're facing. Oh, okay. Oh, we're going to end it there. Let me pull up the deck list one more time. Take a look. Let me know if you like what you see, if you'd make any changes. As always, we ask you to like and subscribe. And as I said, go ahead and leave feedback if you can think of a good name for the series of this, where we're intending to make slightly less evil decks each time and become 1% more of a good person every single day. And with that, this is Travis signing off from Tpull's Corner. Everybody, have a good one.